Hi everyone. So Parashat Mishpatim brings us back to reality, which is something that I personally struggle with. Last week in Parashat Yitro, we experienced peak inspiration, divine revelation. We literally saw the voice of God. It was a high so transcendent that the Torah says the awe of it got etched on the face of Bnei Israel. They were changed forever. And immediately afterwards comes Parashat Mishpatim, which is a parasha of laws. The shift feels abrupt and also quite challenging. How do we move from divine revelation to technical legalities? So Parashat Mishpatim begins, Ve'ele hamishpatim asher tasim lifnehem. And these are the laws that you shall place before them, as if to say, we had a great time, we experienced the high of Har Sinai. Now here are the rules of the game. And the rules abound. This parasha details at length rules around property rights, ethical codes banning the mistreatment of orphans and widows, ethical codes banning mistreatment of animals, laws pertaining to lending, laws pertaining to justice in the court system. And honestly, I found this parasha quite challenging, not just in the content, because it really is quite technical and nuanced in the detail, but also in the context, in that it immediately followed the high of Matan Torah in Parashat Yitro. So I read the parasha multiple times, seeking inspiration, until I found it. At some point it came to me that there is genius in the juxtaposition of these two parshiot, that in fact it's the entire point. So in Har Sinai, we experience absolute clarity, or a taste of divine truth. But like all good times and like all highs, eventually they fade. As people say, a good time never lasts. And it requires real work on our part to embody the truth that was given to us in that experience and to earn the high back again. And Parashat Mishpatim offers the blueprint for that hard work. It's effectively a set of laws and code of ethics that govern our day-to-day, particularly in how we treat one another, that not only ensure a functioning society, but that also underpin the core tenet of the Torah. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. So I contemplate this, and I come to realize that Hashem does not want us to stay at Har Sinai, to stay in that high. Hashem created a physical world for us to live in it. And our work is to elevate the physical experience through kindness, through good deeds, and through integrity. And Hashem promises us that if we commit to this work, in our day-to-day lives, we will earn in return an even deeper connection to Him and a renewed sense of inspiration in our lives. And to this point, I personally experienced this in my studying of this parasha. And the more I tackled it, and the more I read it, and the more I pored over the laws in their detail, the more I found inspiration and genuine beauty in this parasha. And one law in particular even tripped me out. So I'm going to read it in Hebrew and then translate it for you. It reads, Ki tir'eh chamor son'echa rovetz tachat masa'o v'chadalta me'azov lo, azov ta'azov imo. When you see the donkey of the person you hate fall under the weight of its load, are you not going to help that donkey and its owner out? Stop everything you're doing. You are obligated to help them, regardless of your enmity towards the owner. And this really moved me. It made me really appreciate that Judaism is rooted in generosity and love towards the other. And this is not just manifested in grandiose gesture. It's manifested in the finest, most minute detail. Help the donkey of your enemy. So to that end, I'm wishing for all of us to really aspire to and embody Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha. In a world that's filled with so much darkness, we're obligated to shine as much light and love as possible by loving one another and by engaging in even the smallest acts of humanity. Shavua Tov.